I loves me some 1 degree of Chunky B.
Now, I just have to make a comment about Chunky B. Have you ever seen him looking so good?
The panel then includes actress Lainey Kazan, comedian Chunky B, and Playboy TV host Julie Strain. Chunky?
What was the question? So, I'm over at Jim Rome, right? And this guy comes on stage.
Introduce the show.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry. We're up and running. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 1 Degree of Chunky B in the Garage of Love.
Executive producer.
And I'm telling you, folks, you picked a really good show to be dropping in on. This is giving me goosebumps just thinking about who I'm going to introduce you to next. But before we even jump in that direction, the guy across the table in the Garage of Love, the executive producer, Gary Adler.
Thank you, Chunky B, and thanks, folks at home. And thank you for hitting the Amazon button. You know, Andy, if you go to chunkyb.tv and you're going to shop for your family, it's holiday season. Am I right, Chunky?
Yep.
You go to our website, you hit the Amazon button, costs you nothing, helps out the show.
But wait, Gary, I'm on Prime.
Chunky?
Yeah, you see what we're dealing with here, America?
Yeah.
Please help.
It works with Prime.
That's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure everybody else knew that.
Every once in a while, when you run into somebody that you don't know, you don't even know the backstory, and all of a sudden you find out information about a certain individual that turns out to be a real American hero.
Okay.
A guy.
I knew he was going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Back up.
With this line of questioning.
No,
Let's
but
start
the real deal. Okay, and I can verify that, and you can. And if you don't believe in this guy, why don't you go join your friends in Al Qaeda?
I got goosebumps looking this guy up, man.
What guy?
Yeah. Nate Boyer, ladies
Andy
and gentlemen.
Davey.
Say hello to Nate Boyer, a regular American badass, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Yeah.
And I'm
He's
going to
embarrassed by that.
I'm going to
but he
prove it.
shouldn't be.
I mean, because it's true, but I'm trying to be humble.
Nate, once again, thank you so much for making your way into this neighborhood.
Yeah.
And
It's not a bad neighborhood.
I like the neighborhood. But
The house that mediocre jokes bought.
yeah. Dude, I'll go with that in a heartbeat. I want to tell you, I felt bad that I did the full court press on you coming to the Garage of Love. When we met at the Jim Rome show a while back, and then I saw you over the NFL Network the other day, and you and I didn't really get to engage in conversation with Jim Rome show because I introduced you to the audience before it got on air. I was the warm-up guy with the microphone.
No, I remember
And I felt really bad because I didn't have my rundown, and there's this dude sitting on the set. Right, and the stage manager. No. No, this is me acting like you sitting down. So I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't remember his name because he was over there on the rundown, and I'm like, so you are? He's like, nobody knows me. He was like being brutally honest, but all of a sudden you ask a few questions and you've got yourself a major movie idea that you can't even make up.
Did you remember him from the Jim Rome show?
Yeah.
Or no?
NFL Network? Yeah.
Then you saw him running camera. That must have been a little weird,
Yeah.
right? Like
No.
a guy telling jokes. Now he's running camera.
Yeah. I'm
a little weird. Am I right?
That would be weird.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
multitasking.
as far as careers
Jack of all
go.
trades.
Yeah, no. What happened was I was a camera operator for years, and then I started telling jokes, and then I still dabble in camera and mediocre jokes. So anyway, when did you know? And we're going to slowly go into this story of yours, which is absolutely incredible. When did you know you were a badass? Like when you were growing up, and you're like, I'm not taking shit from anybody.
No, not at all. I'm not quite sure if I am a
Okay.
badass. I
You know
say it a
something-
lot, but it's just it's that insecurity.
He's a very humble guy.
All right, check this out. America, you be the judge.
Here, I'll zoom in.
Badass or not badass. You went to Afghanistan. Give us the details. Pre-Afghanistan, why did you want to go, and how did that happen?
Which time?
First time.
First time.
First time. Well, the first time for Afghanistan was actually not until 2013. I went to Iraq before that.
Okay.
Did you mean you want to go there?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, why I joined basically.
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, I went to high school like everybody else, almost everybody else. And even in high school, I'd kind of thought about the military just because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go right to college, but no clue what I wanted to do.
Were you an athlete?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a great athlete. Never been a great athlete. Always worked hard. You know, growing up, I didn't play football. Growing up, I played basketball and baseball. So, for me, baseball was the sport I was good at, but basketball was the sport that I loved.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd shoot hoops all day in the driveway. I'd go. You know, I'd cut class and go shoot hoops in the gym, all that kind of stuff.
You're 5'8", dude. You're 5'8".
5'10" and a half.
5'10".
And a half.
That's in heels. What are you talking about? No.
But I think to your point, at what point in time in your life were you like, probably not going to make it as an NBA player?
Oh, not till I was like 17.
Right?
Yeah.
You had it in your head, man.
You kept hold to that long. That's great.
Yeah. Awesome. No, I remember having that conversation with my parents, and they're just like, Nate, you're not that good. You know what I mean? I mean, they didn't say that, but they kind of
Take out the garbage.
Get a job. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I mean, it crossed my mind. I actually had a recruiter come over to the house.
Oh, okay.
I meet my parents, and it was like, you know, thought I wanted to be an airborne ranger, like the song, and but I didn't really know what it was all about. You know what I mean? It just looked cool, sounded cool. This was before. I mean, this is back in 1999, so this is before 9/11 and all that stuff. So war at that time for us, wasn't really a thought. We weren't really thinking about that. And then I moved down to San Diego after high school and worked on a fishing boat for a little bit and just odd jobs. Did one of those bike taxis. You ever seen those things?
Oh, you did that? Right on. That gets your ass in shape.
For about 3 months. Yeah. It's not
Mission
easy
Beach.
people think. Especially when you go up the hill. If you know San Diego, you go up the hill to Balboa Park.
Oh, yeah.
From downtown, and you got a couple of heavy folks in the back.
Just start sweating when the people are coming a half a block. We're busy. We're busy.
I was always the guy too that was like, you just give me whatever you think's fair. It's just the worst business ever. You get up there and they're like,
sandwich.
Here's $4.
Yeah, right. For the 8 miles up and downhill.
Yeah, exactly. It's all we have. I'm like, all right, whatever.
But San Diego, huge military town. Was that an influence on you?
Not to join. I mean, that was my first time being around a lot of military, though, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I actually had a couple good friends that were in the Navy, and so I went out to Coronado and saw the base and all that. But still, it wasn't that I was like unpatriotic or anything like that. I just didn't understand how lucky we were. I didn't really appreciate what we had, and I didn't see a reason to go serve my country. You know what I mean? I was I
think like most people, they don't think about that.
For sure. But I was just even more than that. I just didn't even care about. I think I didn't really care about other people in general. I wasn't a prick or anything, but I just didn't. It was just like
you were an American.
If it's not serving me, I was an American.
There you go.
Not anymore, right? But yeah, and so then I moved up. I actually moved up here for a couple years and did all kinds of random stuff, mostly drinking, and still doing that. No, but I mean, I didn't really have any direction. I knew I wanted to do something in the film business, which is something I'm kind of reapproaching now. But back then, I had no work ethic, no clue what I really wanted to do. I did a Greyhound commercial. It's about the only thing I actually.
So you were actually pursuing in front of the camera.
I mean, I guess you could say that. I wouldn't call it pursuing, just because
you were sort of wandering around, wondering what the fuck you were going to do with yourself.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Right?
That's pretty much it. And I wasn't very happy because I had no purpose, no direction, no clue what I wanted.
Slide into the meat and potatoes.
Where was
now.
that point? Yeah. What was that moment?
Well, yeah, it was. 9/11 had a lot to do with that. It really did. I didn't join right away, still, but it had a lot of influence on me. It just opened my eyes to like what's going on in the rest of the world, not just my little bubble. Mm-hmm. And I actually started traveling, like backpacking, going overseas, and just I'd buy a train ticket like in Europe and just bum around on the trains and sleep wherever I ended up and kind of just sort of drifting, but like learning, and kind of trying to. Everyone's like, "Oh, did you find yourself over there?" Like, no, I definitely didn't find myself over there, but I found out that there's a lot more to life, and the world's an interesting place. You need to check it out, and then one day I was back here and I read this Time magazine article about the Darfur, and what was going on over there and the genocide, and this was back in this is back in 2004, and it was just getting big national news, and it was like, well, maybe we should send troops over there and do something. When we didn't, but I myself wanted to go help somehow, so I started calling every NGO, just seeing if I could go help out, somehow. And
what's the definition of NGO?
Non-governmental organization, like Doctors Without Borders,
Gotcha.
Catholic Relief Services, Child Fund, all these organizations. And I just got a bunch of no's, and they said, you don't have a college degree, you don't have any special skills. What are you going to do over here? And I said, I just want to help. I'll do whatever I need to do. I'll help build the site, the refugee camps, and I'll dig wells or what. There's got to be some manual labor going on over there that you could use some people. And anyway, it looked like it wasn't going to happen. So I just said, screw it. I went to the AAA over in Burbank and just bought a plane ticket to go over there and somehow got a visa from the
you're going over there to knock on the door and say, hey, listen, I'm here?
Pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. No, I flew in, pretty much just bullshitted everybody, told them I got robbed in Paris. They took all my documentation. I'm supposed to be with, X
You're
organization. I swear.
That's so wild.
How do you have the balls to even think of that?
I don't know. But stupidity, probably. not a ball situation.
Okay,
there.
so you're lying. You lost your stuff in Paris. Continue.
Yeah, no, and so this was just to get on a UN plane to get from the capital there to out where the camps were. And the guy what else would an American be doing there that's got a little man purse with nothing but a toothbrush and a change of underwear and some malaria pills, So
Goosebumps. Fucking goosebumps right now.
They bought it, man. They bought it. And they put me on the plane, got me over there.
What are you thinking? Are you going, what the fuck am I doing?
No. Well, kind of. Yes. I definitely have that rush of adrenaline / like.
There's no turning back now.
I'm probably going to die. No, I didn't have that thought. But yeah, no, there's definitely no turning back.
You had focus.
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't give myself enough time to talk myself out of it. That was the key. I just went. I had a gut feeling, and I would just go with it. And things started to kind of fall into place. If you're committed to something and you're confident, people, they'll buy it. You can make shit happen, whatever it is in life. You know what I mean? You hear about people like in business that just come in and command the room and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Half those guys are full of shit too.
Chunky and I snuck into the Stanley Cup Finals.
Take a look on our website.
That's right.
I got a buddy. He should be on the show maybe.
Okay.
Also a Green Beret. He, without a ticket, ended up on the ice after the Stanley Cup, drinking out of the cup with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh my God. Sounds like
room.
Brant Tobler.
Oh my God.
He was on the field without a ticket, on the field after the Super Bowl, all in 1 year. Just like, this is his thing.
All right, remember, let me get his digits after the show.
Okay.
But dude, I'm fascinated.
So he flies into the Sudan, and then it's just like, how can I help? Like, what are you doing?
Exactly. Well, so I get out there by the refugee camps, and first I get put in this room and like interrogated because somebody finally knew
on to you.
Yeah,
who is
this guy? He has no contact. Like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm here to help. I'm here now. You have to let me help now.
Okay, so now the cat's out of the bag.
That's amazing.
Right? Yeah.
So, but they say we need you.
And then are calls being made back home? Like,
no. This is. I guess it was 2004, but no calls home. My poor mother, she.
No, but were people trying to figure out who is this dude? Here's his social security number. We don't know who this fucking guy is.
No, I don't think so. I think it was just because I didn't have anything. Like, what was I going to do unless I had a bomb ticking inside of my guts or something?
Right,
there was nothing. I had no weapons, no nothing. And they were just like, finally, they were just like, okay. I don't understand what you would be doing here. Other than this, there's nothing out here but people suffering, really.
I think what they were saying, there's nobody crazy enough to be doing what he's trying to do illegally.
I think a lot of people think about doing things like this, but never actually board the plane,
Your first responsibility was?
Over there?
Yeah.
It was pretty much just what I thought it would be. The main thing that I did, which I really enjoyed, was spending time with the kids. There's a ton of kids out there. It's almost all women and children. You know, the men are either already killed or off fighting. You know, these militias would come into these villages and, you know, they'd rape all the women and they'd, you know, either take the kids or, you know, do some horrible things to the kids and kill the men and burn the place to the ground and then just leave, you know, just for in the name of religion or race or whatever it was. Right. It's a genocide, you know. You don't understand why. At least I didn't. And but yeah, those kids, I mean, there's kids that a lot of them are like, you know, maimed and you know, sadly missing limbs and all kinds of terrible stuff and malnourished and all that. And so they have the hospitals and all that kind of stuff, but there's local people that help out too and do that kind of stuff. But, you know, there was also this American guy there in a seersucker coat with a big red beard. You know, it's me.
You brought the seersucker.
Yeah, I was like, okay, wait a second, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, no, that's all I had. That's all. That was my my little outfit. You know, I was really into Hemingway at the time, so it just
nice.
seemed like it makes sense.
All right, so you're grooving there. You started a routine.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Really far from being routine in anybody's life, but now you're in the pocket.
And where are you living?
Yeah,
when I'm over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just sleeping on the floor with the people, other people that were working there.
Is there like Peace Corps and whatever?
Well,
else?
yeah, they had. You know, I was mostly working with Doctors Without Borders and Child Fund, and they had cots or beds or whatever, you know, and they kind of offered me to, you know, we'll try to get a cot for you and all that stuff, and I was like, you know what, like I'm not even supposed to be here, you know what I mean? Don't give me anything I shouldn't, you know. Let me pay my way and all that stuff, and. So honestly, I just ended up, because it was kind of nice, I ended up sleeping outside, just under the stars on a little mat. And I mean, that's what the people do, you know, and it's not that bad. It's actually good it's better for your back once you get used to it. And it was just for 2 months, so I wasn't there for, you know, a year or anything like that. But,
did it ever come across, what the fuck am I doing?
More afterwards.
When it all settled in?
Coming home, well, on the way back, I took rode in a truck on the way back with these 3 guys that I just kind of met through I mean, they were locals that were working with these organizations, and you know, I'm literally in the bed of this pickup truck just flying back across the desert, and I remember just like standing up on the truck and just like, I mean, it's the Sahara, it's wild, you know what I mean? There's just camels and like you drive by like a burned up Russian tank from I don't even know when, you know, it's just there. And it's not going anywhere forever because it's in the middle of nowhere. And then you stop in these little villages and, you know, eat something and kind of then move on. And when we got back towards the capital, the checkpoint, this was the first like, yeah, what the fuck am I doing here moment. Got back to the checkpoint and I, you know, get out and go over to take a leak like everybody else is doing. And I get grabbed and like taken down in the cellar, you know, and these guys have AKs and they're in some kind of camouflage. And I'm assuming they work for, I don't know though, you know, they work for their police or some sort of organized.
So that's
crew.
the moment you're like,
that was
there it is.
All right, so no, keep going,
keep going. Moment. No, that was, I mean, so I was freaked out, and the guys I was with were nowhere to be found, and all of a sudden, after a couple minutes, they wanted money, and I didn't have any. I literally had like $3 left. You know, everything that I had, I would try to give to those people out there, and honestly, 99% of them wouldn't take anything. They're just like that. It's just their culture, their custom. But I mean, I was just like literally showing him. I was like, I don't have anything. You know, you don't take credit cards, do you? And so I just that guy came downstairs that I was with and just freaked out on him and grabbed one of the barrels. And you know, we got out of there and he was just like, those guys aren't, you know, they can't even afford bullets. They, you know, they probably had 1 bullet each. They're not going to use it.
I got you.
And they're going to get, I mean, they can't be doing, they were just trying to shake me down.
Right.
It's like the federales down in Mexico.
Right,
you get pulled over when you're 18 years old down there. They want, you know,
of course,
they want $50, you know.
Okay, check this out. I know I'm going to be jumping ahead. Green Beret.
Yeah.
Seriously, how do you slide into that badassness?
Well, it was right when I got back, honestly. It was like I had to get back over there to the third world somehow. Not necessarily the Darfur, but just that's the first time in my life where I felt purposeful and I felt like I was doing something that mattered and I felt like I belonged. You know, not that I want to live over there. I love this place, but I mean, it's really nice here. You know, there's nothing wrong with this country. It's well, there's a lot wrong with this country, but
that's a whole other show.
Yeah, that's another show. We're on the right track. Anyway, but it was just I felt just compelled to
help out,
continue to be a part of that. Yeah, And my last couple nights in the Capitol there before I caught my plane back, I'm literally listening to Fallujah go down on the radio, on the BBC little transistor they had, and I was just like, it just kind of hit me like maybe you should serve your country, maybe you should do that, because it was another part of that over there. Those people were like enamored by me being American. I kind of mentioned that, but there was also a couple guys that were telling me they wish they could join the American Army, and I was like, I have no idea how you do that from here, but I mean, just to hear that was kind of like maybe I should do that.
Do you still have friends from those 4 months?
2 months.
2 months?
Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
I kept in contact with a few of those people for a bit, and then once I joined and went off to basic, it all kind of I don't, unfortunately. And this was sort of before I had an email address anyway, so that was part of the issue. I just wasn't really good at keeping in contact. I still struggle with that.
Okay, okay. Let me ask you. So you're signed and ready, going to basic.
Yep.
And how old are you now?
Yeah.
24. Just turned 23. Signed up at 23. Yeah, I got back
in shape like you are. Were you?
No. No.
Oh no, scrawny guy.
I probably weighed about 150 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
I rolled my own cigarettes. Yeah. Wow. I was not the healthiest horse. I got my first. They call them PT tests. At basic training was not pretty. I think I did. It might sound like a lot to you, but no, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit! Really? Was that a jab? I'm being sincere. Got goosebumps, ready to tear up, and he's doing a fat joke. I like you, man. I like that. All right, so
no.
you're doing your thing.
But I did you got 2 minutes to do as many push-ups as you can, 2 minutes to do as many sit-ups as you can, and you got to run 2 miles. My first tests, I did 29 push-ups, 53 sit-ups, and I ran 2 miles in 14 and a half minutes or something, which it's not terrible.
No, it's something to brag about.
Yeah.
Shut up. Whatever you're thinking, don't say it.
No. I'm not thinking anything.
Chunky
like that.
ran a marathon, by the way.
Yeah, I did. A couple years ago. We'll talk about that later.
But
yeah, right on.
You're actually not too chunky.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know if you were one time or something.
It's the Astaglow.
It's got to be the Astaglow.
Full
All right, so you're doing that whole thing. When did things get nasty? I mean, what did you see out there? Ooh, that's you.
That's sound effects.
Oh,
Is that,
yeah. Thunder. Was that thunder?
That was
It is
live.
raining here.
Incoming.
It was a dark, stormy night. And,
Don't touch it. Yes, give me some meat here.
okay, so wait, what's the question?
Well, I think we're 24 years old. You're in basic
yeah.
training, right?
Yeah.
When does it click in your head like Green Berets? I want to go all out for this thing.
Oh, so before I came in, they just came out. There's another magazine article I came across when I came back, and I was like, I want to sign up, I want to join, but I'm trying to figure out what to do. I read this magazine article about this 18 X-ray program where you could come in off the street if you pass all these, psych evals, mental examinations, physical, like minimal physical qualifications, sort of, and like a language aptitude test. Then you could come and try out for special forces right off the street. You go to basic training, airborne school, and then you go to selection.
Cool.
And not many of us made it that signed up for that. It was a great recruiting tool because they got a lot of guys in the infantry.
Sucked in, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But, a lot of those Call of Duty Green Berets that were
Right.
had a different image of what it was really going to be like. But yeah, I mean, so I was like, that's it. That's what I want to do. Because the thing about the Green Berets is they work with the indigenous forces. We work hand in hand with the locals. We train with them, we live with them, and then we go off and run missions and fight with them, alongside them. And that appealed to me because of that time in the Darfur. I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want to do. And so because of that, I had it in my head, no matter what, I wasn't going to quit. There's just no way. There's no way I'm going to take, I don't want to be in another unit. I'll do it because I signed up for 5 years. That's what I'm going to do. But they're going to have, I'm going to have to break something or, die trying, whatever you want to call it. And so, yeah. So, I mean, so I told you about that first PT test. By the time I got into past selection and made it and into this kind of the special forces pipeline and training, I did a PT test where I did 145 push-ups in 2 minutes. Jesus Christ. Like 107 sit-ups, and I ran 2 miles in I think under 11 minutes. So it was a different.
I'm gonna throw up.
Person.
God
You
damn.
can do it too. You can do it too.
I couldn't do it in under 12. I mean,
Okay,
I couldn't do it right now. I'll tell you that much.
Now we're going to slide into a category
I think
that
we should maybe tease a little bit.
have we been talking long?
I
Do
don't
we
know.
have time?
How long have we been going there, Andy?
We're looking at 23 minutes.
Okay, let's tease.
So let's tease the,
let's
the
tease.
NFL.
Okay, listen, we're going to slide
the
in
football
his
career.
athletic ability, which is
We're
still.
sliding in a lot.
Okay, we're just
getting
take a
dirty.
break. We're going to be back in just a second, so don't you go anywhere. And if you're dropping in right now and checking it out, go to the website, do some shopping with Amazon, and we're
And
going
if
to
you're
talk
thirsty,
back. And you're thirsty, you got to get your quack on with the duck. How's that duck treating you? You doing okay with
It's
the duck?
good. I got it in a
Yeah.
pint-ish glass.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's
He's got
good
the
stuff.
stoner
I swear
ale.
I swear that's what it is, and I like it.
Yeah, check it out. All right, we're gonna be back with Nate and more details about and his life even gets crazier. We're Chunky B. We'll be right back. Hey, you guys, Chunky B. 1 degree of Chunky B in the garage of love, and if you want to get your quack on, you go to Venice Duck. And I'm not even kidding. This is a good beer. Tell your friends. Don't be afraid to get your quack on. Dude, this is actually really good beer.
it's fucking great beer.
We're so lucky.
Oh shit, I'm still recording.
Hey, you guys, music provided by Play Up Music. That's playupmusic.com.
This is Nate Boyer. Thanks for sliding right into 1 degree of Chunky B.
Black is the night that holds you down. Black is the night that holds you down.
My dad was a Marine down in Oceanside, and to get in, he had to have a certain eye exam. He had contacts, right? Put glasses on. Went with the eye test and said, wait a second, you can't with glasses. He goes, oh, they're just for show. Takes them off.
Come on.
Contact, passed the eye test. Was a Marine.
Well, why would he even put the glasses on?
Just to fool him. Keep him off focus. Yeah. Where are you going? All right. You guys, we're back. Nate, you need a beer? A little stoner?
Yeah, slide one over here.
Yeah. Slide him a cold one.
Andy Davey,
I'll take uno más, por favor.
Yeah. Our sponsors, something, they don't give up on this show that keeps on giving.
Who are the sponsors?
We've got Christian Warner, and then you've got John Henry Binder. They drop off a case of beer for us every week.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. The church key is, I just put it down right here. All right, you guys, you're back in the garage of love with 1 degree of Chunky B. And of course, we got the executive producer of Love, Gary Adler, Andy Davey, the Manimal. I can't even say the word. Manimal.
TV show in the early 80s.
Merman.
And of course, the American badass, Nate Boyer.
Isn't that Kid Rock?
That should be on your business card.
Isn't American Badass like one of his albums?
Oh,
or
that
something?
is. That's right.
Oh,
I'm sure
really?
it's Kid Rock, yeah. That's all right.
Look at
It's
this.
taken.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Just kidding. He's not.
Sliding in with Nate Boyer.
Sliding in. Stoner duck.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, we're leaving off to. Where do you want to take this journey? This verbal journey you're taking us on now.
Purple. Hey-yo.
Hey-yo.
That
Oh,
wind.
that's a storm. The seas were angry that day.
Love the smell.
Okay, so. Okay, now
2 o'clock, 1 meter.
All right, here we go.
You're going surfing, son.
Go ahead.
Yeah. That's
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Okay, so Green Beret, boom. What I want to do is, and the reason why I'm so excited about you being in the Garage of Love is that you started this football thing, and I don't want to move too fast because what you did for our country and what you did for yourself and those that you were motivated by. How did the school? You ended up going to Texas. Break that down.
Yeah, so I was on deployment. I was in Iraq, and honestly, I haven't shared this part of the story before. This is exclusive.
Oh, nice.
That's
in
how
the
we do it.
Garage of Love, exclusive.
Right on.
We'll just slide into that. But no, I actually, and if she's listening to this, it'll be really funny. But she's married now, happy. I think she's pregnant or got a kid, one of the two. Maybe a couple
Keep
kids.
talking.
She's definitely listening.
Yeah, she's listening now.
Yeah.
So she, we were sort of dating before I left, and then about halfway through, which is not the best time, for me, selfishly. I mean, I know it's hard on her too. It didn't work out anymore. It was too hard for her, and so, she moved on. And she kind of told me that, and that sucked. To be honest, I mean, that sucked. It was tough. That was the first time I sort of got my heart broken a little bit.
Right.
And being over there is not exactly other options. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, unless you want to go there, and I'm not going to go there. They're my good buddies.
Oh, Lord.
Great guys. But,
Just friends.
yeah.
That is an exclusive.
Yeah.
What are you getting at, Nate? Hold on. We're going places we didn't.
I'm gonna zoom in on
I
him.
got you.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Zoom in on him.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, keep going.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
please.
yeah.
I think I'm going to slide out of this.
I knew that was coming.
No, but
So you're dating a girl.
yeah, well, I was
you,
formerly.
You
breaks up.
depart. You go.
Well, no. Yeah, I go. We catch up every couple weeks. Honestly, when I can, I give her a call. It's hard though, especially when you're
sure.
busy. Even emailing is tough, and it just became one of those things that it was just too tough. She decided to move on, and I get it. But for me, that was. It's tough, the only way to kind of get over someone a lot of times is meeting someone else or just going out and having a good time with your buddies and doing it, and you don't do that there. I mean, you got your operation, you got your mission you're going on.
just staring at her photo.
And then you did not do that.
All right, let him get to this.
Yeah. No, but I just, and I was already at that point where I had about a year left on my contract. And so, and make that decision if I'm going to re-enlist or what I'm going to do. And I decided at the time I was 28, about to be 29, and I decided that if I was ever going to go to college, it was now or never, and if I was going to go to college, I was going to do the one thing that I always wanted to do that I never did, which was play football, And so I made that decision over there, and it was great. It was like my therapy, Obviously, you got your boys out there, and you got your that important job that you have. But then in any spare time I had, I was just training. I started looking up.
Where were you exactly? Where were you located?
I was in Iraq.
We skipped some steps. I want to.
Yeah. So first of all, you get your heart broken. You start pondering your future, and there's a football in your future, and you've never played football?
Never played.
Were you always a dreamer? Like even when you were a little kid?
Yeah.
Or delusional?
Was.
Well, clearly
Both.
not. I mean, his dreams were just within reach.
No
that
doubt.
He fucking had to work really hard to get
Yeah.
them. That's crazy.
So give me some more details of what went down.
How'd you decide on Texas?
Okay, so I decided on Texas because I didn't grow up a Texas fan by any means. I remember watching the USC
Nobody
Texas
did.
National Championship. No, a lot of people did actually, and they're nuts. But we didn't. I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a Texas fan. I pulled for USC in the national championship that Texas won back in. I guess it was 05.
Tom
06.
Osborne, right?
No,
Was that Osborne?
Pete Carroll. What are you talking about?
No, for Texas. Who was the coach for Texas?
Oh, Mac Brown.
Mac Brown.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know.
Those
Goodness,
details are
that's
not important to the
Nebraska.
story.
That's
Sorry.
Nebraska.
Was that Nebraska? That's right. Tom Osborne, Nebraska.
Stop trying to bond with the American
Terrible
badass.
Kid Rock in studio, sliding on in.
Dude, okay, we don't get. Okay, yes.
All right, come on.
No,
Let's get on with it, Chunky.
Because now we're getting to the part where what I adore about this whole life he's been living.
Yeah.
Now he's thinking, okay, look I just broke up with a chick. Someone give me a football. I'm going to learn what?
Well, it wasn't long snapping yet. It
Okay.
was just playing. I didn't even know what. But I was training. I was over there training, looking up. I was literally Googling how to play football. Like, it was
You were
embarrassing. If people would go back
YouTubing-
and look at my history in there, if they could find that, it would be
God.
hilarious. Oh, yeah, I was YouTube and stuff, just drills, anything. And I would just go out in the sand and do them and then go in the weight room and just grind.
Were your friends thinking you're crazy?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if they quite knew what I was doing. I mean, I always worked out hard, and I always had that, that physical aspect since I was in the military of just, getting after it. And I love the challenge, and I always wanted to be the first at everything and, do it the fastest, do it the best. But now I had a different goal. So a lot of them didn't know. A real good buddy of mine who's unfortunately passed now, did. He was one of the guys that was like, yeah, you got to do it, man. You got to go for it. You should try. And I said, yeah, I could probably play it. I could probably play at a small school or something like that. And he's like, dude, you could play at a big school.
And but you're 6 years older than everybody, right?
On the team?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as a freshman.
But you're still a smaller guy.
Like 10 years older.
You're still a smaller guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no real advantage there. But you started as safety, am I right?
Started as safety. That's the first fact you've got right tonight.
We don't research here, Nate.
Drop the pen.
Drop the pen moment, great. Okay, see, look, you're jumping way too ahead. Okay, so you decide to do this. You're doing the workouts. You're Googling yourself.
I'm not Googling myself.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't.
It was lonely out there.
I do that now just to see how cool
I'm going to bed and Googling myself. I Googled like 2 times yesterday. Anyway, so Texas, how did that come out of the horizon?
I got back to the stateside, and I didn't decide on where I was going to go yet. But, when I was overseas, I'd noticed how many people, Longhorn, there's more Longhorn fans than any other team. It's just a fact. I'm sorry, but there is.
Same with the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, you see those Longhorn hats. If you watch American Sniper, half the movie,
that's right.
Bradley Cooper's wearing a Longhorns hat because that's what Chris Kyle did, and that's what guys do overseas. So it's true. There's those Texas flags hanging in, the op center and all that stuff. They're just Longhorn fans everywhere, and so I thought that was kind of cool to do that because that was kind of sort of America's team. And as far as the college football stuff, they just got more fans than anybody. There's more the reason is there's more people in the military from Texas than anywhere else.
Okay.
So that's a lot of it.
Okay.
But yeah, so I came back and I kind of had my list, and I grew up a huge Notre Dame fan actually. So that was the top of my list, and I actually called up there and went up there, or I didn't go up there. I called up there, and asked them, was this a possibility for me to go to school there, transfer in there? I just didn't have the high school grades. I wouldn't be able to transfer for a while. It wouldn't have worked out.
Right.
So that was off the list. And then I thought about USC actually because we'd be back in California. It's another historic program. For me, I wanted to be a traditional
with the big boys.
Historic program. Just wanted to be a part of that, and just that winning tradition. And it was another thing was that USC is expensive. It's not a public school. It was a lot of money, and so it just didn't. You get GI Bill, but I still would have had to come out of pocket quite a bit. So then it was Texas, and I went out and visited Austin. And after I did that, if I would have done that in the first place,
saved yourself
Notre Dame and USC
Austin's
wouldn't even have been a
shit,
thought.
Man. Really,
it's a great town.
Yeah.
I love this city so much. And I went to a game, and one of the coaches there. I went into the football office and asked when could I try out. I was getting out of the military in a few months here. How do you try? What does that look like? And they linked me up with one of the, I guess like the player personnel coach or whatever. He used to be a running back coach there, and he got me a ticket to the game. And they treated me like I was a recruit. It was really funny.
That's cool.
They have all these, 16, 17-year-old kids that are high school stars that are there on recruiting
did anybody
visits.
ever say, "Well, son, tell me about your football history"?
Like before I tried out?
Yeah.
They knew I was in the Army.
So that kinda
I didn't have, I told them, I said, "Oh yeah, I played so long ago, I don't have film." I don't have the film. And they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll just blah, blah, blah." Because otherwise, even to get a tryout at Texas, you got to send in film. You got to have a reference from your coach. It's tough.
But you're going ahead of the line because of your recent history. You're military, and they're giving you extra juice.
Yeah, they're like,
which you deserve, right on.
Yeah, we'll give you a tryout. We'll give you a tryout. And then
How many kids walk on to try out?
Like how many try out?
Yeah,
or how many make it as walk-ons?
I imagine there's the scholarship athletes, right?
Sure.
And
then
there's
83 scholarships.
Everybody else.
Yeah, I think there's 100. I think 105 is the normal number. So there's about 22 walk-ons at a time. So every year there's, 5 freshman walk-ons that make it.
Oh, that make it.
Yeah.
And 105 try.
Well, no, 105 total on the team. There's
Total.
like 83 scholarship athletes.
Okay.
So then there's 22. I know at least at training camp, 105 is the limit. You might get more than that during the season for like the scout team and stuff. But, in training camp, there's a limited number. And then on the travel squad, there's only 70, I think, or 63 or something. So even for travel, that's why they redshirt a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And sometimes scholarship guys don't get on the bus. They don't travel. If you're not a starter or you aren't a backup that plays on special teams, you're not going to go to the game unless you're a backup quarterback, Right. So
you bust out in the field for the first time. You start the tryouts. What position?
I started out at safety.
That's right. You did say that, my bad.
Yeah, he got that was
Sorry,
his,
that
I
one
Googled,
fact.
I
Yes.
Googled this afternoon.
Yeah. All right. So, and how
no
you
clue
feeling?
how to play it. None.
How you feeling?
I didn't even when I was looking up positions. I saw myself as a receiver, I guess, because I knew I wasn't that big, and I had no idea how to backpedal or play, tackle. So I was like, well, I can catch a football. I played flag football and whatever, so I'll be a wide receiver. And then I get there, and for the first day of our workouts, this guy, a buddy of mine, Blake Gideon, he was a stud safety there, and now he's a graduate assistant coach at Auburn. He's going to be a big time coach one day. Remember the name?
Okay.
He was like, "No, you're safety. You're not a wide receiver." And I was like, well, "Why?" And he said, "Because you want to hit people. You want to try to get on special teams. Just trust me." He's like, and our DB coach at the time was named Dwayne Aquina. He's now the DB coach at Stanford, and he was like, that guy, he's the best, and he is the best. And so that was it. I was like, all right, well, you have to teach me how to backpedal then, because I have no clue how to do it. So,
Right on. Okay.
He started spending extra time with me, kind of showing me some stuff, and all the guys, all the DBs kind of took me under their wing, and it was really cool just to get that help from those guys and get some experience and exposure. And the coach at practice, I got to play safety on scout team anyway. So, and then
Do you feel like you're standing out at all, or do you feel like
Are you making a difference?
no,
Yeah.
I mean, definitely in the weight room.
Like the
and
work ethic
motivating
thing,
guys in the
people
work
are
ethic. Whenever we
noticing,
got to
yeah.
run sprints, I'm going hard, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not a great athlete, and I did not know how to play football at all. And so that's a big learning curve.
It blows me away. The balls that this guy
It's
has.
amazing, man.
I mean, he goes over and hey, knock, knock. I want to help you.
Are your parents involved in any of your decision making, or are you just kind of winging this thing?
Yeah, your
I
poor
would
mother.
like to say yes, but mom, no, she knows.
She knows.
Not really. But I'll tell you what, I mean, they had a huge influence on me. They're both very hardworking people. They both, put themselves through college, went to graduate school.
So you're just kind of keeping them up on what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm in the Sudan. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
right.
No, they're telling my dad's a race sport veterinarian, and my mom is an environmental engineer. And they're both like very accomplished, very smart. And so, a lot of pressure to succeed.
And then when do you make the team?
Yeah, get to that.
Yeah, so so at all the workouts.
Did they put it on the? How do they do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
Well,
wanna
every
know.
team's
How'd you
different.
get
Every
there?
school's different. Every team's different. I walked on in the spring, and at that time, they had 15 or 20 of us made it through the filtered through as far as they let us try out. You know what I mean? I said there's a lot of people that want to walk on, but if you don't have a certain GPA, if you don't have that, like I said, you got to have college or high school game film and a referral from your coach, then you're probably not going to get a chance to walk on. So
not just any smoke. And
no,
just go,
no.
hey,
I mean, you
I
can
want to try to be the kicker.
You can say that, but I mean, it's just they don't have like a fully open tryout like that.
Right.
It's just the way it is, because they would possibly get potentially at school with 50,000 kids. You might get.
It'll be a zoo.
It'd be
Oh my
hard.
God.
It'd be hard. They'd have to spend another whole other week doing that, and they just don't have the time. And but yes, so I just knew if I went, because they threw us in with the rest of the team, so I knew. I said if I just go harder than everybody on everything that I can, they can't. It's just like the special forces.
Right.
I mean, if I just don't quit and just go hard, they can't kick me out, even if I'm not very good.
Yeah.
They at least got to use me on something.
Because you're just great for the team to even be around. right?
Inspiration.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
That's a
So now we got that.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they're like, wait a second, I'm not the safety anymore. I'm not going to. And you slide into a whole different position.
Slide into it. Yeah.
I didn't even know I fucking say that shit. Okay. So how did that bust down?
No, so I my first year playing, they put me. I got to travel a couple times, and on the home games we all get to dress on the sideline. And
That's exciting, right?
yeah, it's great. And every time I got to be at the game, I get to run the flag out or the tunnel and lead the team out, which is American flag, which is really cool.
Oh, Jesus
It
Christ.
was great. It was great.
Texas, man.
Texas,
That
baby.
must have been something.
Yeah, it was
You
cool.
remember the first time you did that?
Oh yeah.
Shit?
All I was
my
thinking about was
God.
don't drop this thing.
Yeah.
Don't fall and don't drop, because you come out of like a thick fog they shoot in the air, and you got to run.
Wow.
You can't see a thing. And there's like cheerleaders and band along the side, and there's a goalpost you got to negotiate.
You're just like, don't fuck.
Did you
it
stop
up.
and breathe? Did you get a chance to enjoy that moment?
Yeah, I
That
did.
you-
Once I got down the hill and out of the smoke, then it was just.
And then the
really
roar of the
fun.
crowd,
Oh, yeah.
the American flag.
No, it was cool.
Holy Jesus!
Right?
101,000.
Everyone going, Rudy.
That's Notre Dame, you jerk.
Stop.
All right, so
Hook 'em horns, man.
that's okay. So you're grooving there.
I appreciate that.
You're getting noticed around campus.
No, not at all. I noticed because like, who's this creepy guy, old guy?
Really?
Why is this old guy got a
that's
backpack?
right. I
you
keep
know?
forgetting he's 8
yeah.
years older than everybody.
Yeah, no, at least
That's crazy.
11 years older than the freshman at that time. By the time I graduated and got out of there, I was like 15 years older than the freshman.
Holy shit!
Is it common for people to come back from service and then be on college campuses?
Yeah, I think it's getting more and more common, and it's good because they should. You
Yeah.
know, they get that GI Bill, and you can do anything you want.
Right.
You know, and you have that other experience. You have an advantage. A lot of them aren't taking advantage of that. It's unfortunate. It's sad. But we're capable of a lot, and we just think outside the box and we get things done.
But not a lot of people decide I'm going to be on the football team.
No, not as many as that.
Wow. It's amazing, dude.
I know, and I know I'm pushing this because
Yeah.
the story just keeps getting better and better.
I know.
How did you play the full time down there?
Did I
you
what?
4 years?
He was a redshirt
Yeah.
freshman.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. He's got his.
Oh wow! Fact number 2. Thanks for showing up.
And then so that first year, that first year that I got to play it all was I got to cover on a kickoff, and I'm out there, I'm juiced, and we're up by 35 or something. It doesn't matter.
And the coaches go, "Boyer, get in there!"
exactly.
And you're like, "Oh fuck! I forgot my cup. I forgot my socks. I didn't always get in, coach.
Socks.
I'm not ready."
I did not do that.
Okay, I know that. So
the
you,
record.
so you strap
No,
up.
I
and
ran
get in
out there, yeah, and I get out there and I start sprinting down like the first one off the line. I was probably a little off sides, but who
Right.
cares, They weren't going to throw a flag with a minute left. And I'm running down there, and all of a sudden I see two guys like coming out. I'm like, oh, God, I'm getting the double team. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just so happened I went in for the guy that gets double teamed on this particular return. And so I go in and I'm like engaging with both the dude. I run in and get hit, and my head just like snaps, and I'm like, oh, and, wrestling them. And one of the guys, after they thought they kind of had me pinned enough, one of the guy broke off and started to block somebody else. And the dude that stayed on me was this big. I found out later he was a freshman, so it's not that impressive now. But he was this big tight end, and I could feel him sort of get off balance on me. So I sort of kind of went with it and just chucked him, threw him nowhere near the tackle. I was like 20 yards away from the play, but I threw this guy on the ground, and everyone on the side, all my buddies on the sideline, they were just watching me on the play. We're just like going nuts, and so I got the bug then, and I was like, I gotta figure out how to get on the field. This is awesome, and so I realized the starting long snapper was a senior, and his backup was a senior. And so I said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to figure I'm going to learn how to long snap now. I mean, I got on the team.
Right.
I just got to figure this out.
And how did that? Of course, you went to Google. You started YouTubing like mad.
YouTube, man. YouTube.
And did you leave school? Did you go overseas? Did you do anything, or did you?
Yeah. No,
summers, right?
Yeah. So I that's what I did that summer. I went overseas and I brought a football with me. I brought two footballs in case one.
Okay, this is a story when I caught up to you in Rome.
Yeah.
I mean, with Jim Rome.
In Rome.
So you taught yourself to snap overseas.
Yeah, pretty much. I started at the end of that season during our bowl practices, and then continued to kind of do it in the spring. It takes a while, though. I mean,
It's not easy.
No, it's not. I pitched and played baseball. Knew how to throw a ball. If you can throw it
but
overhand,
nobody was tackling you after
learn
you
how to
pitched the
snap.
ball.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can learn how to snap. You just got to mess with it. It's weird hanging upside down like that and throwing it through. It's a whole other thing.
So did you go, hey coach, I'm coming back as a snapper. I'll see you after summer.
So I worked it through the spring, and I got a few. I got some reps at practice, but I don't think they took me seriously yet because I was still kind of knocking the dust off. I mean, it's not even the dust. I've never done it before, so it took a while. And so after a couple months, when we had the spring ball and all that, I told Coach Brown, I said, look, I'm deploying for the summer, but I'm going to bring a football. and I'm gonna snap every day. And when I get back, I'd love a real shot at being your long snapper, you know. And he said, of course. And he would, you know, he tells a story now in his mind. He was like, nah.
What is this guy doing?
He's like, yeah, good luck. You know, have fun.
Did you
out
have
there.
any grass to snap on?
No, dirt. Dirt or gravel or cement. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. No grass.
And then you had a buddy just like, dude, just catch these balls coming at you.
No, I made a target out of plywood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just I went into the little, you know, we got a little wood shop area there, and just cut a hole, you know, about yay big for the short snaps, you know, about 1.5 feet off the ground where the roller would catch it, and then a bigger circle for the punts, and so that was about it, you know, around the stomach area, and that was just, I just went for that, and I would try to get it to where I could get, you know, on the short snaps, at least get like 10 in a row in that hole. And then on the long snaps, it took a lot longer to get more accurate.
Dude, you only had 2 footballs, though. Snap and go back and pick it up?
Snap and walk, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Guy's in great shape.
Jesus.
I wasn't sprinting over each time.
So you go, coach, I'm ready. I'm back.
So he's back.
Yeah, I get
and
back.
as a sophomore, you get the starting long snap job?
That's right. Well, I didn't get it right away. I didn't actually win the job in camp. Personally, I did win the job. I thought I won the job, but I don't think they were ready to take that chance. And, you know, they recruit guys to do that stuff, even though they're not always on scholarship. But they did have another snapper on scholarship at that time. And or no, they didn't. They didn't. That's false. Sorry.
Okay.
He ended up getting a scholarship later, but no. But he went out and snapped the first game, and he had a couple not great snaps, you know. And then he's a good kid, you know.
But what are you doing on the sideline? Fuck it up. Fuck it up.
No,
fuck it up.
no.
Dude.
That's such bad juju.
I know it is.
I couldn't. I mean, everybody has those thoughts doing anything when they're competing. Of course, you know. But it's like when something like that happens and you think it's like you feel like you had some you know, witch
right. You had some voodoo going on there,
and it's not a good feeling. And
right.
So, no, I bet you do want your opportunity, you know, and I was fortunate to get
Next
that
game?
after the first game. That week in practice they had a competition, and it was kind of like whoever wins at practice today we're gonna name you the starter tomorrow for the week, and it was just on the field goals and extra points that first year. He continued to do punts, but I started every game, and I did real well.
And you learned how to take that rush after you snapped the ball. I mean, that must be the big deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys, honestly, it's a little embarrassing when I see it with snappers. Even when they're big guys, they'll snap and then kind of just stay down because they don't want to get in the. But it doesn't help. You know, you got to help your guards out.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get triple teamed. You know, so I always try to snap. I tell them, tell me which side when I'm down there over the ball because I can't see them looking back. Tell me which side the heavy side is. You know. And they say heavy right or heavy left. So as soon as I snap, I lean everything I have into that and try to help out. And it makes a difference, you know.
Did you still? Were you in the glory of the moment again? Just boom with the flag? Was it with the flag?
Oh yeah, the whole thing.
So you did that every season?
Every game, yeah, every game.
Now you played through your senior year, and I heard a stat. Tell me if this is true. That you snapped the ball about 500 times, and not once was there an errant snap when you were the long snapper.
Is that true?
It's true. It's true. It's very true.
You should be in some. Look at you with the research. Oh my God! But you should be in like some Texas Hall of Fame or something.
Him for all the stats. For all the facts.
All right.
No, but it's long snapping. It's not. There's
yeah,
guys.
but
There's
still,
guys
dude.
in the NFL that did it for 10 years and never had a bad one. So. You know,
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
Like,
that's still a good stat.
no, it's a
Like,
good stat for
you know.
college. It's a very good stat because a lot of times.
Let's talk about his next dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Go
dream.
ahead, get into it.
Okay. So now you're full of confidence. You've seen some crazy. You've seen some crazy
Did
things.
you win a national championship when you were at
No, we
Texas?
didn't. We didn't.
Did you get close? Where were you?
No,
No?
we never did.
Damn.
Well, you know, it bothered me at first. Well, not at first. It bothered me while I was playing, just kind of knowing that we weren't that team. We just never had, we had solid quarterbacks. They couldn't stay healthy, you know.
Yeah.
And then we'd have just changes on the coaching changes and all these things. It was just, we never had that. Every time we were about to have that year, that felt like and that was actually last year. We felt like this is going to be the team. And then they fired Coach Brown, and Coach Strong came in. I didn't fire Coach Brown; he stepped down, but it was time. Whatever. I love Coach Brown. I love Coach Strong too, though. And they brought him in, and he wanted to make a statement, and he kicked off about 9 players, and 6 of them were starters. And when that happened, you kind of knew it's going to be a tough year.
It's that rebuilding.
And we still had, I think there was 6 or 7 guys drafted, and we only won 6 games, but. It was and this year's another rebuilding year because they're so young. It's just all freshmen. But anyway, so no, never got there. Won some bowl games, had a great time, beat Oklahoma. My greatest memory is actually a loss to Oklahoma last year because we just absolutely dominated the game up and down the field, just so much more physical, and we lost at the end of the day because we threw a pick 6, we gave up a kickoff return and stuff like that. But Oklahoma had like they lost. So we mounted this big comeback at the end and just were, a couple plays short. And this, that in the Cotton Bowl, it's half orange and half crimson. In the bowl, they split right down the middle, and they cleared out of there while their team's celebrating in the middle of the field with the flag. Not really celebrating; it's kind of awkward. All the Texas fans stayed and were chanting "Texas fight,"
that's awesome.
Even though we lost. It was really cool. It was an emotional moment, But that's my greatest memory of playing. It
Right
was
on.
a loss against our arch rival, but
That's
it was
cool.
just because, that's kind of how my life's gone, though. A lot of, we didn't really get into everything as far as the near misses, but I've had a lot of these real lofty goals, and I just almost get what I want. It doesn't quite pan out that way, but it's still that it's all about the journey, and it's just
right.
Everything that I worked for, it ends up being so much more than it should have been.
But cliche is you shoot for the stars, you end up on the moon, right?
Yep,
There you go.
It's true.
So you leave Texas,
So I leave Texas.
and you're thinking to yourself, "What's my future?"
Yeah, I mean, every
What
summer.
kind of degree you got at this point?
I've actually finished my master's in advertising.
Wow,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Don't want to work in advertising at all, but I got my master's.
But I got my master's. All right, so you know where I'm getting to.
Yeah. Well, so I never really had thought about it. First of all, I was 34 my senior year, or 33. Sorry, 33 my senior year, and I didn't really think about the NFL. I dreamed about it, but no scouts were talking to me when they come to practice or anything like that. I was 190 pounds because I had to be. I deployed in the summertime, so I had to stay, lighter and leaner, and you go out on, sometimes you got 24, 48-hour missions, and you're running around with 60 pounds of gear on and body armor and all this stuff. You can't. You can be bigger, but it's just tougher,
Right.
And just the way I'm built, I burn a lot of calories.
Right.
It's my lifestyle. And so, at 190 pounds, there's no NFL teams calling. And so I kind of was under the assumption that was it. And then I got a call from the Medal of Honor Bowl. It's one of those senior all-star games. And they asked if I'd like to play in the game as a long snapper, and I was like, okay, sure. Free trip to Charleston, can't turn that down. So I go out there, and at every practice, there's like 100 scouts there from the NFL team.
No
I didn't know it was like that. That's how it is at all these senior games, senior all-star games. And so there's all these scouts there, and I'm out there snapping, and they got a snapper from out school in Carolina out there too on the other team, and I kind of felt like I said I'm as good as this guy, and he's getting looked by these NFL guys. Maybe I deserve to be here. Maybe I could do this. And then there's 4 different teams. Their scouts came up to me and said, hey, you can snap the ball. You need to put some weight on though. Like for instance, the other guy is like 6'3", 235 or whatever.
Right.
And I'm small for a snapper. I'm small for a football player, but I'm real small for a snapper. And so I just was like, well, how much weight? And they were like probably about 40 pounds. You should,
Damn.
but you should go for it. I wouldn't. You don't want to ever wonder. And so I did, and I came out here to Los Angeles, and I came out here to finish. I had an internship with Peter Berg. He's a filmmaker. He made Lone Survivor and Friday Night Lights, and that was to finish my master's degree. Do that internship. When I was out here, I called up a buddy, Matt Overton, who snapped for the Colts. And I said, hey, man, I think I'm going to give this NFL thing a shot. Do you know any places in LA to work out or to train? And he said, dude, I'm actually going to be out there in April. There's this gym called Unbreakable Performance Center that Jay Glazer owns.
Right on.
You know, you should check it out. And he's like, it's not cheap, but maybe they'll give you a good deal because you're in the military or something. And so I walked in there, and he's actually in there the first day I go. And there's a guy there that trains dudes that's a Marine. He was a special ops guy too. And so he said, yeah, dude, we'll work it out. We'll figure out something, you know, you can afford and we'll make it happen. And so I said, awesome. So I'm in there working out, and Jay comes up to me and he's like, I see him from across the gym asking Gabe, this is the guy's name. He's like, who is that? You know, and Gabe kind of tells him, and he comes over. He's like, hey man, thanks for your service. That's really cool. And I was like, all right, thanks. He's like, yeah, we'll work something out. You know, we'll figure something out. And I said, okay, awesome. I come back in the next day, and he's like, dude, I Googled you. He's like, your story's unbelievable. It's crazy. He's like, we're taking care of you. We're going to get you in the league. Like, yeah.
Oh, really?
He's like, we're going to figure this out. We're going to make it happen. He's like, so he did what Glaze does, and started making calls and just letting everybody know I was working out training at his gym. And, I mean, I worked hard. I got up to about 220. I put on like 30 pounds in like 4 months of just eating like crazy and lifting. And it wasn't all muscle, but I just had to put that weight on.
That's
you know?
crazy.
And then you get the invite.
So yeah, and then right after the draft, I get a call from Coach Carroll and
Seahawks.
saying that the Seahawks, you can't turn that down. You know?
Jesus.
And so
What, come out and
that
try
was
out,
that.
basically?
It was they signed me as an undrafted free agent. Yeah.
Golly.
I know. It was unbelievable.
That must have been something, huh?
No, it was
And then you're going up there,
unbelievable.
you're showing off your stuff. And did you just get like, we know the ending
Yeah.
that you know
That I
you're
failed. See?
No.
No.
Temporary
The
setback.
ending, what I heard was you did not fail.
Yeah.
That you just got caught up in a trade. Something with the quarterback needed more
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
And
It was
Well, no,
a
he got
cap.
hurt.
It was a cap thing.
Well, no, at first it was Tavares Jackson hurt his ankle in the opener, and they had to bring another quarterback on. They're not going to cut the backup. They're not going to cut Tavares Jackson. So
Right.
when they did that, they had to make moves, and having two snappers on the roster,
Yeah.
when they're starting to make cuts, just doesn't usually.
Yeah, but I don't think you're out. Are you out? You think you got another shot?
Jay Glazer
Yeah.
thinks he's not out.
All right,
Hey,
good.
I got a tryout on Sunday with it's called Major League Football, and it's this new league, and they want me to work out down in San Antonio this Sunday.
That's cool.
So
Plus
I'm
you got
gonna
the
I'm
Rams
gonna
coming
do
to
it.
town.
And they're going to play in the spring from April to June, and
Wow.
Yeah,
All right. Is it indoor?
no, it's full.
Is there a new football league coming out?
It's new.
Major League Football.
Major League Football. They're trying to be, I think, like sort of like a developmental league for the NFL, like the NBA's D League.
right.
That's their vision anyway. So
Awesome.
I understand you want to be an astronaut. Is that the next thing?
What?
I never thought about that.
I mean, if you're going to dream. You know what I mean?
My goal is to be every character from YMCA. From
Oh my
I mean,
God.
the Village People. Excuse me.
Village.
From the
Okay.
Village People.
Yeah.
At least for a
Love
year
that.
or two, you know,
Nice.
like an Indian,
Construction guy,
sorry,
police
Native
officer.
American.
Guy with chaps.
Yeah,
The guy with
biker.
chaps.
Yeah, I want to be a gay biker, astronaut, whatever it is.
Hall & Oates.
Hey, hey Nate.
Wow, what an
Whatever.
incredible fucking story.
See what I'm talking about?
And by the way, thank you for your service.
No
I
doubt.
just want to say that out
Yeah.
loud.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
What
that.
what actor would you want to play you? Because there's a movie out of this coming.
It's
You
Matt
know there's a-
Damon, bro.
He's in
Oh,
everything.
man, I'm thinking maybe Denzel.
What about Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Who's that? Is he any good? Is he any good? Is he a good actor?
He's pretty good. And he's a Seahawks fan too, actually.
Ah, there you
My
go.
sister lives in Seattle. She's a big Seahawks fan. I told her you were
Really?
coming on. She's like, "Oh, he just got cut."
This guy that plays for the Seahawks. No, he doesn't play for the
Hey, will
Seahawks.
you promise us one thing as your journey continues?
Yeah.
Drop it in here,
Oh,
sliding
my
in,
God,
and,
that'd be
and give us
awesome.
As long
updates.
as I can slide
Definitely
in.
slide in.
I'm not going to drop in.
What
I'm
an
gonna slide
incredible
in.
story, Chunky. Great guest. Thank
Yeah,
you,
no
man.
doubt.
Thank you for coming on.
Oh, and real quick in closing,
Yeah.
when we ran into each other at the NFL, I'm like, and I separate
Yeah, because
my job
you
from
can't.
our little show here. And I looked at him, and I knew your background because of the Jim Rome show. And I said, dude, you got to be on my podcast. Automatically says yes. Then
Yeah.
he starts asking questions, which I know that's a quality individual.
Right.
To say yes, then to what? Yes. And And then I know he's going to do some traveling. Like he's going to San Antonio Sunday.
Yeah.
So he texts me. He's like, "Hey, listen,
I'm going to Arizona tomorrow.
and
then I'm going to Austin. And then I'm going to San Antonio.
Fuck."
No,
So
this is all for you.
right.
I slid in here for you.
I have a feel. I think we should hook him up with Nate Jackson. Nate Jackson should be writing his story next.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean,
no
the
shit.
homie can write.
We've got our fingers on the pulse of what the fuck's going on.
It's craziness.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh God, who's the middle-aged, chubby guy?" No, we got shit going on here, man.
Who's that fisherman?
We got fucking.
With the glowing
We got Nate Boyer. I'll tell you what. We've got him. And you know something? Did you get your
Astiglow?
Okay, check this out. You take a cap a day.
Here,
Yeah.
that thing.
Try it.
You know, starting now, you take a
Yeah,
cap.
You want to shake it up or anything?
Okay,
Are
hold
you
on.
supposed to?
We're gonna shake it up.
I don't even know what this does. I'm going to take it first, then tell me.
Do you still have
See
the
what I'm
straw?
talking about? This
Give him
guy
the
fucking-
straw too.
Yeah, just put a cap on
found
there.
it.
And make sure
time-
the cameras get that.
When I
Look
was
at
young,
that.
when I was young and dumb, I found a pill on the ground at my buddy's house,
Oh Jesus.
and I took the pill and then asked, "What was that?" Just because I just thought it might be interesting. Yeah, it was like aspirin or something. But that's the kind of guy I am,
Okay,
All right, here we
look
go.
at this.
Astiglowing.
It tastes like water.
Yeah.
Is that just water?
No, it's not. No.
No, there's
that's-
enzymes in there.
There's
it's
all kinds of good
fulvic
stuff. Take a
gold.
cap a day, and you get, man, you're gonna be a better person.
Wait, has it got steroids?
It's the fountain of youth.
No.
You
it's-
said,
yeah, that's just my sign
It
for
is the
everything.
fountain of youth.
okay.
Yeah, you guys, we just had Nate Boyer on.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta tell this last
Oh,
deal.
God,
man.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
check it out.
have to.
Good catch.
It's all good. So, day after I got cut, continuation of the story.
Yeah.
Chris Long plays defensive end for the Rams. He reached out to me. I never met the guy, never talked to the guy, knew who he was, but he said, "Hey, have you heard about my organization called Water Boys?" And I said, "No, man, I haven't." And he said, "Well, I've been following your story and think it's great. And what really appealed to me was that time you spent in the Darfur in Africa." And he's like, "I know a lot of people are really gripped by the story of your service and the football stuff, but that part of it really spoke out to me." And he said, I went to Tanzania a couple years, went on safari and did all this stuff, and then was leaving, and I just felt something. I didn't feel right about it, just with all the poverty there, and I wanted to do something. So I started this campaign called waterboys.org is the website. So Waterboys. He said, and I'm trying to, and I've got 22 NFL players so far that are my water boys for the teams, and within the locker room and the fan base, we're trying to raise enough money for one clean water well to be dug in the ground in Tanzania per team. So their goal is
awesome.
eventually
I got you.
32 wells for 32 teams. And he said, "Man, I mean, I know you're not in the league anymore, but I see you coming on board as like an ambassador or some sort of a something. I just want you involved. I feel like this maybe would be something you're interested in." And I said, "Yeah, definitely." I said, "Would I be able to do something with veterans?" And he said, "Yes, definitely." So I kind of went home and thought about it. And the next day, I'm on a stair climber, and I'm clicking through the options, and one of the options is Kilimanjaro. On a stair
Oh
climber.
jeez.
So I was like, "That's it, man. I'm gonna go climb Kilimanjaro with some vets or something like that." And then I thought about what would be a bigger challenge. Is I bring a buddy of mine that's, this guy is a single leg amputee. It was his first deployment to Afghanistan. He took a knee on an IED essentially and blew his leg off. And he went through a long recovery process that involved, pill addiction and depression and not wanting to be around anymore. And then he came out of it and started training at this gym called the Adaptive Training Foundation down in Dallas. And they push guys to the limits, and they make them set these big challenges and these lofty goals they have to kind of elevate to. And so I started telling him about this. "Would you want to go on this climb with me to raise some money for a well?" And he said, I didn't even finish my sentence, and he was like, yes, I want to go. He's like, "That's exactly what I want to do. I mean, that's what I need." And so we started out with that goal of one well. And then I said, "Well, you know what? We got to beat all the NFL teams. That's too easy. So let's try to get 2 wells dug." And he said, "All right, cool." And so that was our goal of $100,000 to get 2 wells dug. And fortunately, we got Microsoft on board and some other people. And so I think we've already surpassed that number.
Nice.
So now we're looking at
Nicely done, buddy.
our goal is my goal anyway. I don't know if it's not in writing yet, but I want to raise $1 million, which would be enough for 22 wells. And there's 22 veterans a day that are losing they're killed by suicide essentially every day in America. And I think all the reason for that is they don't have that purpose. They don't have anything to fight for anymore like we did over there. And that camaraderie and brotherhood's gone. And they're just struggling. They need something. They need a challenge. They need to be able to continue to serve like we served. We were in the military and fight for those people that can't fight for themselves. And I know this doesn't involve a gun or anything like that, but it's a way you can continue to do that. And so I just want to encourage vets to do that, whether it's through this initiative or through another idea they have, whatever motivates them and they're passionate about to just go for that and do that and make it challenging, make it hard, make it seem impossible, and prove everybody wrong.
If our folks at home want to contribute, where do they go?
They go to waterboys.org/Kili, Kili. Nice. So Conquering Kili is the name of the.
We got to get Steve Kelly up that mountain.
Oh, jeez. As a friend of ours that's a vet. No. So
get him off the
do you
bar
have any? There's no date set when you're going to do.
February, so it's coming up.
Holy shit!
That's amazing. Will you come over? Will you come back after you're done?
Dude, you got to come back because this is your home base now. You're going to
great.
be out there with the big NFL shows, and you're going to be traveling the world. But this is your base right now.
Okay.
This is your comfort zone. This is garage
Just slide in here anytime, baby.
Man, I tell you what, Nate, I knew your reputation. Anyone that knows anything about, a football and the journey that you have been going through, I know for a fact that this world would be way better of a place if there's more people like you.
Absolutely.
I totally appreciate everything you do. You are a monumental, go-getting American badass, and it's been nothing but a privilege and an honor for you to be on 1 Degree of Chunky B in the Garage of Love.
Well said, Chunky.
You're a good man.
Well said.